I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bites. I have a very big happy birthday to little Nashika. Yes, Nashika Coleman of the North Hills International School. Today is your birthday. I love birthdays that are on Wednesday. Mrs. Kote, happy birthday to you as well. Now, this morning, there are a lot of issues on my mind. Number one, yesterday I told you about what's happening in Kolebu. Their lifts are not working at the maternity block. And then sometime in the afternoon, I was shown how the polyclinic is also leaking. The patients, the wards are leaking. 21st century Ghana. And you know, the people of La have a peculiar and a particularly sad story because their La General Hospital, which was serving Teshi, Nungwa, and some people from Spintex Road, and etc., was demolished with the pretext and promise of getting it done for them under 2 years or so. We were told by the health minister that everything was okay and ready to go. We were even told not so long ago that it was going to be part of Agenda 111, and now we are being told of what benefit Agenda 111 will bring. So we are still in the talking business when people are suffering. La Polyclinic is leaking. Kolebu lifts are not working. And they told me yesterday that the Kolebu CEO is still a director of one of the I think the Benz department. So he attends the meeting both as a director and CEO, and he has to come and sign things as director and then come and receive them as CEO. I say, oh my God, Oman Ghana. And then there goes we. Somebody called me from Kolebu yesterday and also told me that, oh, the dialysis machine, some of the machines at Kolebu are not working, and that the wards, some of the wards have been. I say, so what can we get right? Street lights, no. Traffic lights, no. Roads, no. What's going on? And every morning you wake up and there's a different conversation that's happening. Every morning. Every single morning there's a different conversation that's happening. Yesterday, the persons living with disability threatened to sue the Electoral Commission. And it is for obvious reasons of how the Electoral Commission has decided to conduct itself. There's an injunction in court. The Electoral Commission says we will go ahead. And I'm sure the Electoral Commission has very well experienced lawyers, whether they be on retainer or whether they are working at the Electoral Commission. I'm sure they have lawyers. I'm sure their lawyers advise them to do, or maybe advise them not to do that. I don't know, because I don't work at the Electoral Commission. But this morning, a critical question that came up is that, what did the staff of the Electoral Commission, when they go to work, what do they do, the staff of the Electoral Commission? Because ideally, they're supposed to be doing a certain continuous registration, which they have refused, or either failed or refused to do. Now, this election, right, the registration exercise that is presently ongoing, I maintain will be the biggest dress rehearsal for the Electoral Commission, along with the district elections. It will be the big dress rehearsal for the Electoral Commission for election 2024. Because the president will finish his term. I don't believe in coup d'etats. I believe in democracy. I believe in it. So I believe that the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, will finish his term. And that in the spirit of that, he will not check out and tell us that he has finished the race and won the course. No. He will finish his term. So the Electoral Commission, if I were working at the Electoral Commission as Madam Gina Dukwe-Mensah, Dr. Bosman Asari, and all the other people who are working at the Electoral Commission, I would have used this as a dress rehearsal. And I'm saying these things because when Madam Jean Mensah was at the IEA, she was the one, along with the likes of Professor Jampo, who were making all the fine suggestions for the reforms that we are supposed to be experiencing today. When she was at the IEA. Now, strangely, she gets in there. So, typically, the IEA was on the side of the pitch, screaming and saying that the coach and the players are not delivering. They are not delivering. They are not playing the ball the way it has to be played. Then Madam is giving substitutions. They'll come and show us how the ball is played. They give the ball to Madam and we can't find the ball. How visible, Madam Electoral Commissioner, are your district offices to the people you are asking to travel far and wide to go to your district offices? On election day, you will come and give all of us places that we should go and cast our ballots, which will be closer to us, in our districts, in our villages. But when it gets to registration, you are giving us excuses of whether or not we can afford it. We can afford to put up a national cathedral, the biggest and most expensive hole in the world, and we cannot afford to let people register and have a decent election so that we can preserve the democracy that we started in 1992. We cannot do that. We can afford to give 124,000 to Kennedy Japan from the Chief of Staff Office to go and give to Adjoa Safo, but we cannot afford to have decent places for people to go and register. We can afford to spend certain amounts of money, but we cannot afford to allow for our people to preserve our democracy. And yet we say the doyens of democracy in this country, the tradition that causes of the doyens of democracy in this country are the ones in power. So what are we doing? And the elders in the country are quiet. And the pastors in the country are quiet. The temperature is not right. The temperature is not right. And we must be forthright in speaking truth to power. We must not do things to endanger the democracy that we are all enjoying. Because I've told you that when I was as little as 12, my father told me, never support a coup. He wore a uniform. He understood what it meant. He said, if ever a coup happens, the people know they can't get to the big people. The big people will be locked up, and like it happened in Gabon, they say, make some noise. You in the middle class, they will come to you because they think that you are friends with the upper class, and they will exact their pound of flesh. We don't have soldiers protecting us like our electoral commissioner. So our lives being endangered with these decisions. Come on. Make it your biggest dress rehearsal. Set up the centers across. Know that you are prepared to do it, because you complain about budgetary issues. That's why there's a whole special budget committee in Parliament to take care of these issues that you bring. And is Parliament complaining to you that they have asked the central government to give them money, and the central government says that it doesn't have money? Because we have seen the wastage in many different places. So, Madam Electoral Commission, don't set this country on fire. You can't have persons living with disability come and sue you. Because if we go onto your website, we see the disability directorate or whatever it is. William was sharing with me. And it is surprising that you have a woman at the helm of affairs talking about children, women, and people living with disability, and you can't find it finding presence. You have a whole desk in charge of gender and disability. And you expect Johnny Hughes to leave his work, his morning show job, which he feeds from, to go and be roaming around looking for a district office that is not visible, to go and queue so that they tell him that the machines are offline, that he will be registered on offline, and then to later be told that, oh, because we were offline, we couldn't register you, and yada, yada, yada. What is that? Yesterday, IGP Dampare appeared before the committee in Parliament. He spoke his truth. Listen to IGP Dampare, please.
Brothers were given opportunity to come and speak, and they did speak and made indication that, yes, they are involved in what was happening. Then all of a sudden, instead of them to focus on that matter, they came out with wild allegations, Honorable Chair, with wild allegations that touch my person, the police leadership that I lead, and the entirety of the police service. Without, until today that I'm being told that now they have some evidence, without a shred of evidence, Honorable Chair, at the time that they were making it, without a shred of evidence. And Honorable Chair, those wild allegations without a shred of evidence has brought a lot of pain to myself, my family across the country, and especially my wife and children.
Johnny's Bite.
That you are so patriotic, because you believe in what you call Pan-Ghanaianism, where you think that because of your multi-ethnic nature, everybody you see, as long as the person is a Ghanaian, is your brother or a sister, mother or father, uncle or auntie. Then the pain also to my command, my leaders, my team, that we work together, that we all know. And the pain to the thousands of police people who are appreciating the strides that we are making in transforming the organization to be the best institution in the country and a reference point for the rest of the world. They came, made all these allegations in order to cover up probably the shame associated with what they got themselves involved in the first place. And I, an innocent person, focusing on my job.
This is IGP Dampare before the committee. And yesterday I had varied views, reactions. Some said, oh, the IGP was near tears. Some said, oh, the IGP cried. Oh, the IGP was showing emotions. Oh, the IGP was blackmailing people with emotions. Oh, the IGP was doing this and that. Some even suggested that, oh, the IGP should have been told to go, blah, 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 and all of that. He should have been sacked and everything else. COP Mensah showed emotions. Superintendent Asare showed emotions. So what is wrong if the IGP shows emotions? He's a human being. If you feed on your integrity, and that is the only thing that you feed off, and you don't steal and take monies from people to do favors for them, and you don't put your hands in the wrong bowls, if anybody tries to injure your reputation and your integrity, you will be hurt. If it becomes necessary for you as the senior most ranked policeman in the country to have trusted people well enough, put the picture up there, to have been so close to them, for them not to even just finish the conspiracy, but also to come publicly to come and say that, oh, what they said on tape, they will repeat it, you'll be worried. If as the senior most ranked policeman in the country, you have had to put aside your job to go and answer to allegations that you didn't make, because the rule is that he who alleges must prove. Now somebody says, oh, Ekia is a thief. Then they call Ekia and they ask Ekia, are you a thief? But they are not asking Ekia, the person who said Ekia is a thief, why do you say Ekia is a thief? If you have to leave your job, go and sit on national television in Parliament, honoring respectfully the invitation of the Speaker of Parliament, with your police management board members who are high-ranking, who had to come early to come and salute and pay compliment to the IGP and walk together with him while their jobs were waiting at the headquarters, you will be worried. And you will be worried because you are also being injured by your reputation and your integrity, which some people who are asking for him not to have expressed his reputation do not have. So the IGP told his story, and I like the way he told his story. He gave a balanced story. He had the composure, the character, the method, everything else. I loved it. The IGP told his story in a very beautiful manner. Even though I think this picture is too much of a stage drama and all of that. Because he was asking for, what do you call it? He was asking for the people on the other side to be excused. Now, the pain for me, if it were me, was that somebody has accused me privately, and that private conversation was going to be given to the highest man of the land by this influential person. And that person was sitting right in front of me. And I'm asked to come and answer to allegations that he has said without basis and substantiation. If I were him, you will feel the pain if you have a soul and spirit in you. So this morning I asked the question, in whose interest will it be if Dampare is sacked? About a month ago, I asked that question. I haven't gotten the answer. Until yesterday, a video I played for you about a month ago came up and I played that video again. It's by the president's prophet. Listen to him.
Sa IGP ni dey make catch MPP for. Sa IGP no dey mo co-position se muni mu a. Ase o tie. Ase power na MPP for enya no ma mre. Mo IGP no so time me. Wonim dey enti o time me. Menka we na me fama no nsi because me bu fu mo. I hear na makoka dey yanka. And I'm more beyond so stop me. Me to me baby. And Chama won't to me na frame you. Me na minim dia koso. Or frame also defo. O papa say, or count papa say means president. Nana Adonanka Kufuado. Or the Dibia my and Chusu Bako for IGP. Now you didn't amount to Bohom Pie near head your Radebeka. Where Chama won't to me a friend, me also bempa. Metikam, Nanaka City Kanumbi. Or did any man on media dear me nim, oh, prosimu, I am a mitiwa, and Mr. Kofi watching. Dear me nim no.
Johnny's bite.
Santam Dampare Mintini din crada.
Johnny's bite.
Can you boa Sanhana Mintini dinda? Media minimane, mamitiwa. And Mr. Kofi watching me in UK. Me koye program o UK or ba program ni nyina bi. Nti me ne nanenam me body pa no. Me nim no for so many years. Eti me so and I'm so. And I mesu the process na adwuma me fe. How you discipline? Although omu nyina ye discipline. Ba me de me ka de me nim. Mr. Kofi watching ma me tiwa. Omo mfa ma ba ko ne yemfa ba ko nya na yi. Epiti. Sena obi akobo IGP na mane.
Johnny's bite.
And na me kan samo da man ma kire mu. Enti me ka kire chama untumi. Enti ohonum na Mr. NS also bempa frɛ me. And was papa Matisse also emfa IGP ni ma asomasi ni asomasi. Ankaye but papa bi ye fe ni Christian tete nyohonu. Ono so we very good pa. Enti papa ye de mo no ankaye. Enti aso obi a kire na adwene. Se de me kan mu tie me. Obi a kire na adwene.
So we have gotten to the point where political people now have to tread their dream who becomes our IGP. Remember Chief Dampare, Oliver, give me 1 minute. Remember Chief Dampare, Chief Bugri Nabu, what he said. He has maybe the capacity. There's Owusu Bempa, who is the Deputy Communications Director of the NPP. There is also, Chairman Wontumi, who is a part of the equation. There's the president's prophet. Some even say that it was Professor Owusu Bempa who asked the president to carry the white chair around in the V8. So now you have politicians around the selection of an Inspector General of Police, and 3 other people were conspiring with one party big person to have him out. You say he should not express his emotions after hearing all these things. So I ask finally, in whose interest will it be for Dampare's sack? In whose interest? Will it be in the interest of the tax-paying Ghanaians, or will it be towards the interest of a political party and the names that have been mentioned? And listen to the influential people who have been mentioned. And listen to the influential man who is saying, who has droves of people listening to him. I say, don't politicize the police. Don't politicize the military. Don't politicize the fire service. And you know what? Some senior officers in certain security institutions have told me that maybe the parliamentary committee should make a request to the standing committee in parliament to have other security institutions looked at so that the reform can cut across and not just be focused on the police. Manuato, good morning.